John Kramer is back. Set between the first and second Saw movies, John, played excellently by Tobin Bell, seeks out experimental treatment for his terminal cancer. When all does not go as expected, his alter ego Jigsaw puts those responsible in a series of deadly games. Saw 10 mixes up the formula a bit by focusing almost entirely on the human side of John Kramer. It's much more of a dramatic character study than a gory horror. The result is that Saw 10 is one of the best in the long-running franchise. Tobin Bell is great as John and Jigsaw. This time around, attention is put on his hope and emotions. The film dives into the character far more than any other film, offering insight into his motivations and goals as Jigsaw and as a person nearing the end of his life. John's plight adds a lot of heart and emotion to the film, enough to make you care for and somewhat sympathise with the serial killer. Amanda is back too, again played by Shawnee Smith. This might also be her best outing in the role, showing her progression from accomplice to eventual successor to Jigsaw. She conveys conflicting feelings for her victims, more sympathy and care for others, and she clearly loves or admires John as a father figure of sorts. By being the longest and slowest of the Saw movies, there's plenty of time to focus in on the characters and give them moments like these. The problem is that as the longest and slowest, it does have pacing issues. The first half of the movie is really quite slow, taking its time to establish characters and the scenario. Then, as the more typical Saw setup takes shape, the non-trap sequences can feel a touch sluggish at times. The traps themselves are fun and creative. Thanks to a bigger budget, they're executed better than prior movies too. Unlike those movies, the traps and the gore are not the focus. They're used sparingly, as a means of adding tension and excitement, but they're shot in a way that makes this Saw gory enough for long-time fans, but also slightly more accessible to non-fans. Emphasis is put on characters' reactions, rather than what is happening to them. This is also the best looking Saw film to date. Gone are the days when the film was shot entirely in a single warehouse. Here we see a variety of locations inside and out. Cinematography is stylized slightly, but still grounded, gritty and believable. Charlie Clouser returns as composer and makes history too, with a more nuanced emotional score, mixing in melancholic beats with the more traditional Zepp themes. Saw 10 is the franchise and those involved trying something different, and perhaps more meaningful. And for the most part it works. It has a few too many slow moments, and some of its twists lack big wow moments, but it's one of the best, more layered Saw movies to date.